Swifty Morgan from the USA. He's got his own channel. He gets about a bit of this chap and finds a lot of history. So we're gonna bring him up, find out where he's in the USA, and let's hear some stories from Swifty. Here we go. Hey, welcome, Swifty.
Howdy, y'all. How's it going?
Hey, we're all live and we're all singing and dancing. We're all waiting for those great stories from you, matey. First thing I'm going to ask you, whereabouts in the USA are you?
I live in Virginia, which is just the next state down from Washington, D.C.
Oh, right. Okay, great.
Yeah.
What kind of history do you have around there then? I mean, roughly speaking.
Where I live, we have a little bit of Civil War history here.
Oh, yes.
And we also have a lot of colonial history here as well.
Oh, yeah.
From
the UK.
Yeah, and I mean it's not early 1700s, but late 1700s on up.
Yeah. When did you start detecting then?
I probably started about 20 couple years ago, and I just.
How did you get into it? You know, how did you sort of want to be a detectorist? How did you get into it?
I don't know, really. Well, back when I was a kid, my mom was she used to go bottle digging all the time.
Oh, okay.
And I used to go with her, as a kid, and I get interested in hunting treasure,
Yeah,
and,
of course. Yeah.
Just one day, I just got it in my head I was going to try some metal detecting out. And so I bought a cheap $99 bounty hunter.
Oh, yeah.
And that was my first detector. And I tell you what, you wouldn't believe the stuff I found.
Yeah, it's a good machine in its time. I mean, heavy, and obviously the technology, it worked. There's no doubt about it. It worked, that machine. Obviously,
as long as you swing over it, it's you're going to pick something up.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. Mine. I mean, I started 33 years ago, Swifty. My first machine was a 1265X Fisher.
Okay.
That was my first one. But I've had many in between that. We've had the C scopes and the Garretts, and I'm not gonna draw a list.
Yeah.
So what is at this time now your get to go machine now at the moment then?
The machine I use now is I use the Equinox 800.
Oh, like me.
Yeah, and it took me a good year to learn it, and I still haven't really, learned everything on there. But I finally figured out some settings for our soil here, which is there's so many minerals in our soil.
Oh, is it very mineralized? Is it?
Yes, it is. And I mean, you can set the pinpointer down and it just goes off.
Oh,
and you can set it a foot away from your hole and it's still going,
Oh, it's really mineralized over there. I thought we were bad in England, but obviously it's we have we suffer in certain areas with a bit of coke, and that's because you see, in our time we used to have what we called Bonfire Night, which is the 5th of November, which was a kind of, well, I won't say a festival, but a kind of event where Guy Fawkes tried to blow Parliament up in 1696 or something, because he didn't like the king. Anyway, he was foiled and he was hung and for treason and everything else. And ever since then, we have Guy Fawkes Bonfire Night. Well, of course, when you have all the bonfires going across England and on land and everything else, you're going to have a lot of charcoal spread about as time goes on. And that's when, we find quite a bit of coke. With also the farmers used to, when they had coal burners, they used to burn the coal and then they used to throw the ashes out onto the field and spread them about. So we do have a little bit, although, our machines now are quite good. We tend to sort of null quite a lot of that out, So, well, what kind of history have you found in your area close to where you live?
Well, today I went.
Oh, you've been out detected today?
And I just went down the road from where we live about 15 minutes. And I detected at 2 houses, and they've been detected before, but I got permission to go there. One house was built in 1800, and the other one was built in, I think I was told 1920, but I think there was another house there before then too. But one of the things that I found at the 1800s house is this buckle, and as you can see,
yeah.
it's actually silver plated. What's left on there?
Oh, nice.
And
Yeah.
I'm not sure if what type of buckle this is. If someone knows that's watching,
Yeah, it's probably just a normal what we call 18th century, 19th century, buckle. It's probably like you said, plated silver.
yes.
So it's probably for a slightly higher end person.
Mm-hmm.
I state slightly.
Oh yeah,
I
judging by the
yeah.
house, it's a huge house.
Yeah. And anything else?
Yes. There wasn't many targets out there,
No.
but over at it was a two buckle kind of day. So
Oh.
over at the, I want to put this up the right way. Over at the 1920 house, I dug up this buckle.
Oh, just spin that round. Spin it round. Just spin it round. No, the back. What's on the back?
Oh yeah, I'll show that in a second. But anyhow, what I wanted to point out on the front here, there's a C right there. So I can only assume that whoever lost this buckle, their last name began with a C.
Okay, well, just have a look around there. Can I have a look at the back? And definitely, it's a buckle, all right.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And
Do
then
you think it might be Civil War, or do you think it's a bit too late for that then?
I think it might be a little bit later than the Civil War.
Okay.
Now, that property, both properties that I was on today, is right behind the old courthouse, and they used to muster at the courthouse. But like I said, I know someone who went in there with a couple of his buddies and hit this property before. So
they had a lot of stuff.
Yeah, they found a bunch of stuff, and I was only there a couple of hours, so I didn't hit the whole property.
No.
But I was happy with that.
Yeah. What size of search coil have you got on then, Swifty?
I got the standard stock
11-inch.
11-inch, yeah.
The 11-inch, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever considered having a bigger search coil for depth and coverage?
Say that again.
Have you ever thought and considered to have a bigger search coil?
I thought about it.
Hang on, something like this. I'll just get it out.
Oh, now you're bragging. Yeah, maybe when I get some extra money, I might consider doing that.
I do recommend. Now, I've moved on from that one. That is a little one. I've got the 15 by 15 Cold Tech search coil.
Mm-hmm.
And the difference between the 11-inch or even this to that is phenomenal. You're covering more ground and you're going down deeper and finding more targets. Okay, admittedly, not all the targets are good targets, but they're getting more targets. So you've got more chance of finding more stuff and going down deeper, with a bit of luck, deeper than, say, your friends who've got standard search codes. And so that what they've missed, you could go back and go up and down and grid it nice and slow.
Right.
Yeah, and find things deeper. And then you can say, hey, you guys, you've missed this.
That's
$1 silver, whatever. Do you know what I mean? And I've done that time and time again on fields I've been here and footpaths I've been on and gone over with a big one, and it just pulls them out all the time. So it's something for you to consider at a later date. It's just my advice.
Sure.
So you've got your own channel. I know. I think you told me, have you got your own YouTube channel?
Yes, treasure hunting with Swifty, and
right.
I left the link.
Yeah,
that's it. I left the link to my channel in the live chat. So it's
great
at the top there. I think it should be in there.
Yeah, we've got a few people joining us. We've got Keith Pointer. Hiya, Keith. I've got a few. Yeah, I've got a Ukraine chap that's just joined us, and I cannot pronounce their names. I'm really sorry.
Yeah, me either.
Yeah, and we've got you, yeah, and you're on. Yeah, well, some people will join us as
Yeah.
time goes on. That's generally what happens, you know.
Yeah, and I just
And
posted it again just in case it got lost
yeah,
somehow in the
yeah,
chat
that's
room.
fine. It's okay. You know, if you've got and if you put it on my Facebook, because I will I will make sure that I'm sure I have, but subscribe to your channel. And what I do with people who subscribe to my channel, I add them on my listing of my subscribers treasure hunters listing.
I got you.
So they're joined to my channel. So what people can do, they can look at my channel and go, I don't want to see John's videos. I'm going to see what other people he has. And then they go in the list and say, oh, there's Swifty there. And they get you up. Yeah. You know, that's what they can do. You know, and that's what I've done with a lot of people who become subscribers of my channel. I've also, Swifty, I've also got another listing for people who have subscribed to my channel who are not treasure hunters, but are any other sport or any other interest, bottle digging, boxing, football, golfing, fishing. That's another listing where people can, you know, come on as well. So it ain't just for treasure hunters. It's mainly for treasure hunters, of course, for us guys, yeah. What other history have you found then during your metal detecting time then? Have you got something to show us or any stories to tell us when you've been? Tell us the stories first. Have you got any great funny stories or anything that's happened with your friends as you've gone out to various parts? You can name where you've been, towns and cities. Go on. Anything?
Well, I got sort of a funny story. I was hunting with a buddy of mine several years ago, and I took him to one of my places where had found some flat buttons and some colonial relics there. And so when we got in there, we started finding some Civil War bullets, some card bullets, a couple of Civil War buttons. And so later in the day, the house is a great big house, but it's all fallen down. And I was on the other side of it. And Clint was on the other side of it.
Okay.
Well, all of a sudden, I heard him yell out. And I didn't know if something happened. There was a snake, whatever. And I go running around. I just dropped everything. And I'm running over there. And here he is laying on the ground like a turtle, upside down with his feet and his hands just in the air, just a flapping, and then whoop, whoop, whoop.
That's in that excitement, I think.
He was so excited.
Excited, yeah.
So I run over there. I was like, you know, hey,
I thought you were. I thought you were bitten by a rattlesnake.
Yeah. I was like, what's going on? And he says, look. And he had dug up an eagle belt plate from an officer from the Civil War. Oh, it was so beautiful. The only thing that was missing on it was the gold pieces that are in the bottom. Like it's sort of, silver. There's a silver inlay. And a lot of times the soldiers would take that silver out and use it to buy stuff and things.
Yeah. I see.
So that was sort of a funny story for me because he was on the ground, it's a flopping.
You've never had any encounters with any snakes, then, have you, at all?
A couple of times, but nothing. You know, I haven't. Knock on wood, I haven't encountered any poisonous snakes, but we have black snakes over here, or rat snakes. And I've encountered them several times, but you know, they just go on their way.
They just mander on, don't they? They just look at you, don't even bother, just walking. It's when they become close to them that they become a threat. I think that's when they get a bit agitated and they just say, "Hey, back off," don't they? I think is that the case generally?
Yeah, and then you know, also we have yellow jackets here. I don't know if y'all have yellow jackets. But
we don't. I think we have two snakes in England, and they are rare and protected, and they're only about a foot long. One is called an adder, which is poisonous, but you know, to see one of them, maybe just like trying to see UFO. You know, it's so rare. Then we have a grass snake, which they're only that big. So I've been told. I've never seen one, and they only reside further down south in certain areas. kind of very, very, very rare. I think the story I heard that somebody died of a adder 1977. That's how rare that is, you know, and that was just purely because he didn't go to the hospital. But yeah, so it's rare. So over where you are, obviously it's a lot warmer. You're going to have all different sizes of snakes and all different things going on over
Oh
there.
yeah, we have a lot of different kinds of snakes, and then we have what are called yellow jackets over here, which are I guess a bee in a sense, and they live in the ground, and they are super aggressive and they sting. So in the summertime, you know, you really got to be careful when you're out there, when you're swinging your detector, that you're not next to
one of those holes.
a yellow jacket's nest in the ground, because they will come out and they will just nail you.
Beg your pardon, the bees. Oh, yellow jacket bees. Ah, yes.
But they are deadly, man.
Nasty.
Yeah.
Oh, I got you now. I got you.
So we will have to watch out for those, and then in the
well,
summertime
we have wasps, you know, and little wasps, you know, but still, hey, you get stung by them. You know, it's not, you're not happy. You're definitely not happy. So we're quite lucky. We don't have a lot. I tell you what, we do have a lot of. We have what we call gnats. Gnats, so tiny little ones.
Get you in your eyes.
But you know, they come down like kamikaze. Boom. You know, and you bit all over. I should tell you a story about this one. Tell you this story. I was abroad with my friends, and we was, after our lunch, we decided to do some beach hunting on one of the beaches. So we jumped in the car, went to the beach. It was probably just after evening meal, so something like 7 o'clock, and it got dark about 9 o'clock or something like that. Anyway, we got there about 7:30, and we're there. Beautiful. I mean, it was nice and cool because you know, in the Balearics it gets a bit hot, but during the evening it just nicely cooled off. So you're there in your shorts, lovely, nice and cool, little bit of a breeze, and we're all thinking, "Oh, this is great." Detecting, finding a few coins, finding new bits. Anyway, it started to get a bit sort of dark, just slightly dark, and then all of a sudden, I saw my mate said, "Quick, get back to the car!" I'm going, "Why?" And just as he said that, I just got this ting, 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 and we were all bit to death. We took that through his t-shirts, and lumps all over. I mean, jump into the car, and we got back, and you know, you're itching for days after that. Days, you know. Yeah, mosquito bites. I think we can call them mosquitoes. Oh, I hate the buggers.
I don't like them either.
All over, you know.
They can
and you have to be careful. You've got to be careful, of course, because you don't know what they're carrying. But still, you know. Yeah. I thought you had a power cut then, but no, you've come back. You're okay, Swifty.
I was like, did my lights go out? What happened?
Yeah, they did just for a second. So, have you got any other stories to tell us? Or are we going to go to some more artifacts that you found, or you know, adventures that you've been at with your friends or something like that?
Well, I was trying to think of something that might be really exciting.
Well, it's okay. I mean, you're in America. Just what you think is exciting.
I tell you, this was something exciting for me. Just last week, I had got a new permission at a house, and the house was built in 1880.
Okay.
And so, so I had been over there twice before, and I found some coins. I found some foreign coins. I found some Indian head pennies, what we have over here. And one of them was actually dated 1888. And I found some wheat pennies, but I didn't find any silver coins, except for one day I found a 1939 silver quarter. I was like, that's cool, you know.
That's nice.
I went back over there
it's
last
a pity
week.
You haven't got them to show us. You know, we need to see them.
Well, we're in the process of moving, so I got a lot of stuff up, but I do have a bunch of stuff here I'm going to show you.
Oh, well, yeah, show us it and tell us all about it.
Yeah, and so I actually have two stories I want to tell you about some stuff I found.
That's good.
So I went back over there last week, and I was there for a good hour or so. And I dug up some clad coins, and that was about it. And I was surprised. I was like, I'm surprised I'm not finding something else in here, you know. And so I don't know. I was there for a good while, and all of a sudden, I started getting a solid 3940 signal. But it wasn't like blow my eardrums out. It was kind of faint. And so I dug down where I pinpointed it, and my pinpointer said it was further back in the hole where I had missed it somehow. And I was like, well, that's odd, you know. So I pinpointed again, and you know, with my metal detector, and I was like, okay, well, it's 2 inches over this way now. So I dug a big hole out, not a big hole because I'm in the yard, but I dug about 3 inches out behind there.
Yep.
And just took my shovel and kicked it just a little bit, and took my hand and, you know, pulled the dirt out and put it on the ground, put the pinpointer in there. I was like, yeah, nothing's in there. And something caught the corner of my eye, and that dirt that I had took out, there was the edge of a thick coin in there. And I knew it was a coin because I could tell by the edge of it, but I didn't know what it was. I went and got my phone, recorded it before I even pulled it out of the dirt.
Yeah.
Well, what I ended up pulling out of there was an
that is just beautiful, man. Swifty, that is
Morgan silver dollar.
Beautiful.
Isn't it?
Beautiful, man. Oh, yeah. That is just.
Yeah. And you know what? I was so excited that I sent messages and everything to everybody.
Yeah, but of course.
I was about done. I was about done for the day, and I was glad I had my brown pants on, because when I saw this, I about stole myself, y'all.
Oh, it's brilliant.
Isn't it?
That is
you see, I nicked it right there.
Just what was the date again?
1888.
1888. Oh, and, solid silver.
You know, backwards on the screen. Let me see. Yeah, I nicked. You could barely see the nick of my shovel right there.
Yeah,
right there. And I think what happened, I think the reason why I was having so much trouble pinpointing this, I think it was 9 inches deep. I think it was on its side.
On its edge.
It was on its edge. So it was throwing a signal that way and that way.
All right.
Plus a little bit there. So I think that's what was throwing me off.
Yeah.
Because I should have just dug right down.
I'm very surprised that you got such a high number on the Equinox. You know, I would have got, you know, so like a 30 or something like that with that. But it looks. Do you know how wide is it? Have you measured it? It looks like something like about. Is it 20 millimeters? How wide is that, Swifty?
I couldn't tell you. I mean, I have my book over there, but I mean, it's 1 ounce silver.
Yeah.
1 ounce silver, and
it's a big coin. It's a big coin.
Here's a 50-cent piece.
Yeah, look at the difference.
Yeah, which I dug this up out of Boy Scout camp. The other week as well. With are you familiar with Digging with Squeak?
No.
It's a father and daughter team.
Oh, okay.
They're from Richmond, Virginia.
You'll have to do some connections there, Swifty. Connect up. Say, hey, get older John on John's Detecting Adventures over across the pond.
Sure, I sure will. Yeah, we had just gotten out of the car, and Bill and I, we were just talking, and I got my machine out, and I ground balanced it, and had it all set up, and we were just standing there talking, and I was just swinging as we were talking, like, dude, I got a 34 signal right here. And I was like 2 feet behind the car, maybe 3 feet, you know? And he was like, oh, you do not. And I was like, right here, I got a 34 signal.
Wow. And that came out.
Dug down there and said 1973 Kennedy.
Yeah, 73. Yeah. Is that still silver then, that Swifty?
No, the last year was 1964 that they made
1964. Oh, okay. 1964. That's when they stops the silver.
And,
okay. Still nice to find, though. Still nice to find.
Yeah. And then also, I got another story I want to tell you, too.
Yeah, go.
But before I go any further, because my mind is going 100 miles an hour. So we were detecting at the Boy Scout camp.
Okay.
That's where I found this. And we dug up a bunch of coins, and I got 2 silver quarters out of there and stuff. And as I was swinging along, and I just want to say to everybody out there, when you're metal detecting, keep your eyes peeled to the ground, because you never know what you're going to find. And as I was swinging along, and I'm always looking,
oh yeah,
I found this
arrowhead.
beautiful arrowhead.
Isn't that beautiful color as well? You can see
the
different colors as well. Isn't that fantastic?
Yeah, it's got a little, it's hard to see it here, but it's got a little pink tint to it as
All right.
well.
Okay.
But
I
was just laying on the ground looking at me, said, pick me up.
I mean, how many years is that? How old is that, Swifty?
I couldn't find my book, but my guess on this one is around 300-400 BC.
Oh,
now I have another one here.
Yeah.
And I found this a long time ago. This one is actually dated around 6000 BC.
Oh, look at that. Different design entirely, isn't it?
Yes.
But it's a lovely color.
And
what is it actually made of?
These two are made of quartz.
Quartz. That's why they have that, like a rainbow effect.
Mm-hmm. Now,
right.
This one here is dated around 6000 BC as well. And this one is
so different.
It is. It's made of jasper.
Oh, it's jasper.
Same replica of my tattoo.
Yeah. Oh, that's what that is.
Yeah.
That's nice. That is just nice.
Now, here's another one. This is dated around the same time, 5000 BC. And this one is made of quartzite.
Oh, blimey.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with my lighting here.
But isn't that cool? We can see it.
And there's another one.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
so
that's awesome.
I was collecting arrowheads and hunting arrowheads way before I started metal detecting.
Right.
And I don't have as many as I used to have. I got rid of some, gave some away, and sold some. Because I just had so many,
Yes, yeah.
If somebody else can enjoy these, why not?
Yeah.
So that was a thrill for me finding, arrowheads. Sometimes you dig a plug out and boom, there's an arrowhead in it,
Oh, yeah.
So
I've done the same thing. I've dug a plug out and we've got some pottery.
Oh yeah.
Oh, we've got the clay pipes or the stem of clay pipes. And in our country we have also the oyster shells that the Romans used to, because the Romans loved oysters.
Oh yeah,
coming from
I still
Italy,
do.
Yeah,
I have in the other room. I still have a clay pipe, and the stem was broken, but my mom found it when she was bottle digging. And I still have that. And I also have a pair of little tiny wire rim glasses that she found. Right. So I still have some of the stuff, Yeah,
well, we can always do an update another time and you get another collection of stuff. You don't have to tell us everything today. Just some things that you found today. And those arrowheads are just, awesome finds. Let's just say. And I'm sure it's an education for people because we don't find a lot of arrowheads in our country. In fact, very, very little. We do find fossils, different types of fossils.
Yeah, we find those
eyes only.
Yeah, that's right. Eyeball.
So now what happened to the bottle digging then?
You mean as far as me and my mom bottle digging?
Yeah. Did you do any of that at all, or do you stop doing it? Or
I do it some now, but I'd rather be metal detecting.
Yeah, I'm sure. But you see, you can on an update later on, maybe you can bring some bottles that your mum's found and say, hey, look, these, and then just give some sort of explanation or some information about it as a mix to the metal. Right. So, have you got any other metal artifacts you want to show us, or are you going to leave that for another time?
Do I have any what?
Any more metal finds, artifacts?
Oh yeah, I still got some right here.
Yeah, you carry on the story.
Here's an awesome story.
Come on then.
Last summer, my wife and I, we like to go kayaking a lot.
Okay.
And so we're on one of the big rivers we have down here is the James River, and it's full of history. And I mean, I found arrowheads in the river right there too.
Oh.
Actually, this year I found one down there. But so we went kayaking, and there was a bridge that goes across and a little tiny island there. So we went over to the island to have lunch. And of course, when we go on the river, I take my metal detector. But anyhow, so we had been there, I don't know, about 30 minutes, and I found a GPS someone had lost off their boat, and some pans, and some sinkers and things like
Oh, yeah.
that. Well, my wife says, "Hey, lunch is about ready." I said, "I'll be right there." Well, as I'm going back, I'm still swinging, and I'm like 5 feet past the bridge. And I get this banging signal, and I'm like, "Oh, I got some junk here." And so I don't use a digging shovel anymore, the hand shovel. I keep losing them. So now I use a great big screwdriver. They're cheaper.
Oh, I see. All right.
It works great. Anyhow, so I just took my screwdriver and I reached down there and I pulled up 2 bracelets. I was like, oh, I can't say on here what I said, but anyhow, I was like, holy crap.
Yeah.
And I reached down there with my hand and I pulled up a couple of necklaces. And so I hollered for my wife. And by this time, I'm kind of shaking. I'm like,
Hey, so nice. I've been jumping up and down, man.
It was.
Swifty, you got to do the goal dance.
Yeah, that's it.
I'm doing the goal dance now, and you got to do, I got to do the John Travolta, mate, because I'm John, you see. So I'm doing the John Travolta dance, but you got to do your own when you get the goal. Right. Oh, that's exciting, isn't it?
Yep.
Are we not able to...
I wasn't done at that point.
Oh, okay.
I was like, I called for my wife. I was like, bring me a bag, bring my bag. And I'm still pulling stuff up. So by the time she gets there, she says, what'd you find? And I said, look. And I held my hand open and she just stood there with her mouth open. She couldn't say a word. And I said, there's still more in here. So what I did, I had her hold my detector and everything. And I reached down there with 2 hands and I ended up pulling up a plastic bag that had all the jewelry in it. And there, I mean, it was a great big bag full of jewelry. And the only thing I can figure out is someone stole it and then they threw it off the bridge after they got whatever they wanted.
Chased by the police. Yeah, chased by the police. Get rid of the evidence. Wham it.
Yeah. So I did a bunch of research. There was a Mason's pin in there, a Freemason's pin. And me being a Mason, I knew a lot of the Masons in that area. So I contacted everybody in the lodge.
Brilliant.
Nobody knew anything.
So shame.
So I went through all the jewelry. And there wasn't any gold in there, but there was a lot of like gold-plated things, costume jewelry, a couple of silver rings, and then that was in there.
Oh yeah,
925. Nice. That's a silver bracelet.
Solid silver.
Yeah, nice. Isn't that beautiful?
Oh, it is. It's a heart one, isn't it? And I think that is a. That will open up. The art will probably open up inside.
No, it's solid.
Oh, is it solid?
It's solid.
All right. What a shame. Yeah. Usually, sometimes they open up. There's like a little notch on it, and it opens up, and there's usually a picture inside.
All right, a little locket.
Yeah. Just try. Just have a little browse and see if it's a locket, because that picture tells 1,000 words, doesn't it? Really.
Yeah? You're right about that.
Oh, that was a great excitement there, Swifty. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I was shaking. I probably a couple of hours. I was so excited and everything. Yeah. I mean, I was just, and I just couldn't stop. I was
you can't pay for that, can you? You can't pay for that, can you?
No.
But it's just like it's like winning the lottery type feeling.
Exactly.
But
so that was a really exciting find for me, and
I'm almost sure. Yeah. Well, I don't know if you knew, but I go detecting abroad, as I mentioned before, and detecting in the water. I go detecting in the sea, in the water up to my chest. with this with the scoops and all that, you know. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually hunting for gold jewelry when I'm out there,
Right.
you know. So
I'm always looking for it too.
yeah, and I do find it because there's a lot of people obviously on holiday there, and there is no tide. It's non-tidal in Europe, so
Really?
or very 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 little tides. It's probably about a meter or something like that. So everything stops in the same spot year in year out. Only the undercurrents may move it about a bit, but not
Mm-hmm.
much. In our country, it's totally different. I don't know, it's like probably where you are, but we have long tides that go really out, you know,
Uh-huh.
you know, 100 meters, maybe 200 meters, maybe, you know, really way out. And then it takes about 3.5 hours to go out and 3.5 hours to come in. That our tides. What's the tides like in your area, in your county? I don't know if you by this. How far are you from the sea?
We're about 3.5 hours. We
Oh,
live in the mountains.
right. So
Matter of
that's
fact, if I turn my computer that way out the window, it's just the side of the mountain. I mean,
oh
we live on the side of the mountain.
oh. Oh,
Um,
Swifty, nice place.
yeah,
I chill out into it. Chill. You see that, and you just chill. You
that's
know,
it.
and you know,
But
yeah,
I get down to the beach once in a while to do some detecting with some friends, and it's every 6 hours.
yeah.
Yeah, every
It will.
6 hours.
It's the same as us then, because ours. Well, it's 3 years, three out, 3 in. It's about 6 hour tide. Then it's the same then.
Yeah, yeah.
Swifty. It's
I
the
don't know
same
where I
thing.
got 12 from.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's okay. Yeah, that's yeah, very, very much. You know, we have a lot of history. I'm going off detecting. You're probably not aware, but I'm just trying out a new detector at the moment. They manufacture them in the USA. You might have heard of them, the Tesachis.
Oh yes.
The Tesachi MDT 8000. Just trying that out because I had a friend that went detecting together on some land where I'd actually spent month or two detecting with my machine, and I said, "Give that machine a go on this. I don't think you'll find much." And he just killed it.
Oh
And
wow.
I thought it
Now,
was a fluke. I
is it
thought it was a fluke.
waterproof?
Sorry. Oh yeah.
It's waterproof. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Because
Goes
I
under the
like hunting
water.
the rivers and everywhere too.
Yeah.
So, but it's an 1836 half dime.
Oh, lovely. Hey, that's quite old, is that?
1836.
1836. Now that will be. Is that George IV? Or is it William the Fourth? Hang on.
Well,
What?
this
Who is it then? Who's the?
that's Liberty.
Oh, it's a Liberty one, so it's an American one.
It's called a half bust dime.
Okay.
I mean half
Oh, that's
dime.
bust. Oh,
And
okay.
then
Okay.
the same style, that's an 1820 cap bust dime.
Okay.
So the same era, one's a half
Same era.
dime and one's a dime.
Oh, yeah. A bit different.
Oh,
Difference
here we
in
go.
size. Yeah. Oh, that's nice to find. It's always nice to find silver, isn't it? It's
It,
always nice to find silver, you know?
especially when you find old silver.
Oh, old
That
silver,
just
yeah. Well,
thrills
I
me
can't.
to death.
I know. I've got a massive collection. I'll have to show you just one thing for you. One thing.
Well, show me your detector first.
Well, that's the you know the Sache
Mm-hmm.
and now what it was really funny because I'd learned so much about using it, and then I've done the video setup video how to use it. So I spent a few days trying to learn the panel and how to set it up and everything. And then I decided to take it on its maiden voyage. Literally, it was where I am. It's just a couple of fields by where I live. So I just took the machine, went out to the fields where I have actually blasted the field with my other machine. I mean, I'd spent 4 months up and down. And we've got footpaths in our country, you know, old footpaths, you know.
Uh-huh.
And I thought, I'm not going to find a lot. Not going to find a lot. So I went down the footpaths and by the footpaths, and I found a few more coins that I missed, and a few more buttons. And then I think within about 3 hours, I'd got this target. Now, you know and I know, when you find something close to the surface, it's more likely crap or modern, isn't it? Generally. Yeah.
Generally.
Yeah. So I got this top of the sod out like a little plug, and I'm just sort of feeling my way into the plug, and then I could just see like a glint of gold colour. I'm thinking,
Wow.
gold engagement ring.
Wow, man. Congrats.
Yeah. I've got to pull it out if you want. It's got a green stone, which is an emerald, and really tiny little diamonds surrounding it.
Nice.
And so that was, I can imagine, the maiden voyage of the Tasace found a gold ring.
Wow. I mean, that's awesome.
That is just luck. That is just a stroke of luck.
Yeah,
it just really
just
is.
happened to swing over it that day.
Yeah, and I'm planning to do tomorrow. I'm planning to go to my beach. My beach is 40 minutes away. Well, 45 minutes away from where I live, and it's in a big town. You've probably obviously never heard of it, but it's called Blackpool. You want to look that up. Blackpool. Blackpool is a famous tourist resort.
Okay.
In the north of England.
Okay.
Now, what it's famous for is it's famous for having, and I'm sure you've heard of the Eiffel Tower.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, the guy who designed the Eiffel Tower designed a similar sized tower, slightly smaller, that is in Blackpool, and that's called Blackpool Tower.
Okay.
A smaller scale of the Eiffel Tower is in Blackpool.
Right on, man.
Now, Blackpool is a 5-mile beach. Huge. And the history goes back, tourist history goes back 1860.
Oh, I bet.
And that's where the Victorians came along, and they were just like penguins with all the finery and the jewelry and the watches and the stuff. Up to the present time, Blackpool was a mecca for tourism up to before they started. They had the planes to take you abroad, but still, it is quite a bit. It has 3 piers. Anyway, my plan is tomorrow. I'm going off tomorrow to test out the Tasace in the beach.
Right on.
And see how it performs. So that's what I'm doing tomorrow. So that'd be exciting. The tide is just right, and the weather's just right. I've been waiting for this moment for ages, and we're going to go out there and try that out.
You probably won't sleep tonight.
Yeah. Well, I mean, my go-to machine is the Equinox, of course, at the moment. But I do a lot of tests for machines. I've done the Apex, I've done the Simplex, I've done the Oryx, I've done the Gauss, which you might not have heard of, the Gauss MD, which is a Ukraine machine, believe it or not. I've done, what else have I done? I've used all sorts of machines, the Excaliburs, the CTXs. I've used a heck of a lot of machines. So I can say I know a little bit about detecting.
So would you say that your go-to machine is your Equinox? Is that your favorite? That's your...
Oh, yeah. At the moment, it's just, you put that down and, it's because you cover in one swing, I'm covering a lot more area.
Yeah.
And a bit more depth than the conventional. And when you get to know your machine really well, and you listen to the target noise, and you listen to the ID number, you've got an idea that it's something good.
Yeah. And one of the things that I started doing this year, I started broadening my swing. And so I go as far as I can I'm left-handed. I go as far as I can to the right and as far as I can to the left as I'm walking. And
you're covering more area.
Right. Yeah. And I make sure I don't bring the coil up at the end.
That's right. Yeah. Do you know your settings, Swifty? Do you know your settings you're using on the machine?
Right now, because of the soil conditions here, I run my ground balance at auto because it changes. I mean, you could go 10 feet and it will change. So I run that at auto. Right. And then I've been running it at 15 in field 2 at 50 tons.
Oh, right. Okay. Do you have your threshold up at all?
I don't remember what I have it at right at the moment.
Well, factory setting is 0. Well, I'd recommend you to put it up because that emphasizes signals deeper.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, I forget what I have it set at right now, but here recently I've been digging stuff 9-10 inches deep.
Yeah, well, you want to go deeper than that.
Yeah. Well, if I'm in someone's yard, I'm just like,
well, I'll tell you a little story. When I just first got the Equinox, I had the 11-inch search coil, and I was testing it out in the backfields where I'd got permission, and I've got 40 acres at the back of me, which I'm afraid have been done to death. Well, I just started with it, and I was getting so much, and it was winter time. And the nights were drawing in, and what I tend to do, depending on how nice the weather is, if it's reasonable, and I'm reasonably warm, I had for the last 30 minutes or the last hour, I put a torch on. So I'm on the way back, and I'm thinking it's getting a bit cool now. I need to go home. I'm tired. I'm hungry. I want to go home, and I don't have far to walk. 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Still, I'm tired.
mm-hmm.
And I just got to the rise of an hill, a small little hill in this field, and I just waved my machine, just probably like you, waved my machine like that, bang, and then my ID number went to 36. Now, I've never had a 36 before, Swifty, never.
Huh.
I thought, 36? What the heck's that? So I could hardly see, so I dug into my pocket and I put my head torch on to see what, because I thought, I'm digging this. I'm going to dig this. And I dug this down 13 inches, Swifty. And it was a big coin like you just showed me.
Holy
half
crap.
crown, 1816. George III.
Wow.
Half crown. And that's 13 inches deep.
Holy wow, man.
I measured it. With me my pinpointer, which was Garrett's 9-inch.
Uh-huh.
And then it was about another 4 to 5 inches above that.
Uh-huh.
More. So I knew it was deep. And I didn't really, because it was dark and I was tired. When I got the spade down for the bottom bit of the muck, I flipped up the muck, so I was rushing a bit. And this muck went up, and I saw something flip like that, boom, on the floor. And then I went, holy cow! Half crown. And believe me, I've only found one.
Mm-hmm.
Half crown of George III. Kind of a rare. Now, if it was in perfect condition, it's worth a lot of money. It was a bit worn. I've still got it to this day. Right. So that's just gives you an idea. The 11-inch goes down deep. You've got the right settings.
I set my frequency at 15 because it cuts a lot of the garbage out, and then it finds stuff like this.
Oh yeah. Oh well, yeah. I'd have stuff like that out. Yeah, that's true.
Now I have 4 of these that I found last year on the same property where there was some Civil War history. And
it's nice, isn't it? I thought it was that old. I thought it was old.
Yeah. And so I sent a picture of all these to a friend of mine who was a Civil War history buff.
Oh, okay.
And he said, these are definitely all Civil War era.
Nice.
And I hadn't, I dug 5 altogether. That was at a different site.
Nice.
And so I had never dug horseshoes. I've only dug one horseshoe, and that was like 10 years ago. And it was in a creek. Check this one. I mean, not a horseshoe. Check that one out. Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah. Horseshoe. That's different, isn't it?
Yes. And so, like I said, this is the first one and the only one I had dug in 10 plus years. And then last year I dug 5.
Oh, yeah. So, I'll tell you what we'll do. I'm just going to have to say hello. I don't know if you've got on your listing there. I've got a load of people here that's joined us. And I'm just going to say just a quick hello. I've got Ram Detecting. Hiya. We've got Creating with Karen Wade.
That's Mrs. Swifty.
Oh.
Yeah, that's my wife. She's in the other room.
Oh, is she? All right. Yeah, she is, yeah. Oh, there, she's there. Kaboom, she says.
That's right.
Hello there, missus. And then we've got a couple of people have joined us that half of them I can't even pronounce them. But hello, guys, if you've joined us, thank you very much for joining us. Hi,
Hi there.
We've got you in person now.
That's right.
Yeah.
Not just in chat.
Swifty's wife.
Mrs.
What a
Swifty.
lucky guy.
I see so too.
It's if you've got anything else you want to talk about, a little bit of a story, but just to let you know, it's 52 minutes, 53 minutes. It's up to you. You can go for another little bit, and then we can finish, and we can always update another time. Entirely up to you, Swifty, what you want to do.
Yeah, I only have a couple of minutes right now because my wife teaches from home, and she's going to start teaching in a couple of minutes. So I got to kind of.
Okay, that's fine. Well, if you want to, we'll finish up and we'll update another time. Yeah.
Sure, if you want, I can show you a couple more coins real quick.
Yeah, show us, Swifty.
I just dug these up recently. These are it's a 1901 and a 19.
Can you get really close to the camera?
There you go. These are called barber dimes.
Ah.
Yeah, so I just recently.
1901.
Yeah, in 1903.
Yeah.
The camera. And then this is an 1898.
We can see it,
The 1898 barber dime.
Yeah, I could just about make it out.
Yeah.
Nice. Nice.
Lighting in here.
You see, you're doing well there, mate. You're doing well.
And
I've got to ask you, have you ever been in England?
No, my wife was there. She went to school there for a while.
It's been great meeting you, listening to your stories. And I'm sure when we go on an update and another interview, we're going to have some more interesting stories. And of course, you're still going out detecting and still having more finds.
That's right.
So thank you for joining me and being a guest on my channel. Good luck and keep in touch with them.
Yes, I will.
Please pass on to your connection groups that you're being on and ask them to connect up with me.
Sure.
And then we can, because I'd love to have different parts of the USA and different parts of history and connect up and get a feel for all America, because I'm sure it isn't all the same. Different parts of history of different, it's just all different. Yeah. And it's an education for everybody outside the USA and probably different provinces, which is helpful to us all. Is that right? Yeah.
That's right. And I want to thank you for having me up here today.
Oh, it's been a pleasure.
Everybody for showing up.
Well, it's been a pleasure. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to end this and just do a bit of texting, and then I'll just copy and paste on my Facebooks, and there'll be more people watching that. I hope there's going to be quite a lot. And then I'll send you the link. Okay?
Sure.
And then you can plaster it everywhere else.
Sure. Yep.
Take care for now. Keep in touch. You want to chat to me? I'm on Facebook.
Peace
Back
out.
in a moment.
All right.
See you later. Cheers.